I want to talk about this next guest because she happens to be a Guinness World Record holder. Also, she's the youngest woman to grow a full beard. Her story is not just inspiring, it's actually rooted in medicine and a great teaching moment for many of us. Harnaam joins us via Skype. Harnaam, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Now, the first question that I know a lot of people are curious about is, when did you start growing your beard?
I was around 11 years old when I first recognized that I had facial hair, and I was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome.
Well, obviously now you embrace yourself and you embrace your body and everything that comes along with it. But at first, how did you feel about it, though?
I didn't like it at all. I was body shamed and bullied a lot, and it was actually due to me looking like this that I was bullied, and the bullying led to me becoming very suicidal, and I used to self-harm a lot too, and going into school every day was horrendous for me.
You know what I'd like to know, as a mom of 4 young kids, you obviously have a lot of self, which I think is incredible, and I'd like to know how your parents handled this with you during that time.
At the start, it was a little bit difficult for them, especially for my dad, knowing that, you know, his daughter has a beard. But I think they're more concerned about me finding jobs in the future, even getting married or having kids. But for me, my priority was to overcome the bullying and, you know, get educated at that time.
And Harnaam, we're about to educate a lot of people about this. But when did you turn the corner, where you embraced this and said, you know what, this is who I am, I'm not gonna run from it, I'm not gonna put up with the bullies, and I'm gonna embrace this? Look, clearly, here you are today, a beautiful woman, and you're saying no to bullying. When did that happen, that change?
I was actually 16 years old, and I hit my lowest, and I remember being ready to end my life, and there was a split second where my thought process changed. And I thought to myself, you need to learn to grasp hold of your life. You need to learn to embrace yourself, your uniqueness. You need to learn to find self-love, you know, gain liberation from the pain that you're going through. And that's what I did. And from changing myself from within, I think everything about me just changed, and I became more loving towards myself and other people. And now I just feel really liberated.
Well, Harnaam, we are so glad that you're able to join the show. Keep being you and raising awareness, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I do really quickly want to bring Dr. Nita Landry into the conversation, obstetrician gynecologist. We've talked about PCOS on the show before and its connection in some cases with facial hair. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So androgen is typically a male hormone, but even still, women make some androgen. However, when women make more androgen, for whatever reason, for example, PCOS, then they tend to get the excessive hair growth.
How common is this?
It's pretty common. It's pretty common. But the nice thing about her is she's actually taken this situation, and she's a beautiful young woman, and she is living life on her own terms, and I love it. I love it.
Before we move on, is one quick question for women out there, or maybe youngsters who are starting to notice some facial hair. When is it the right time to go see a doctor? Because again, this is a hormonal imbalance. When should you see a physician? What should you look out for?
So anytime you see a difference in something going on with your health, it's a good idea just to chat with your doctor. But specifically speaking about hair and PCOS, if you notice that it came on suddenly, if you notice that you're getting excessive hair growth in unwanted areas, but you're also getting like frontal balding or increased muscle mass, deepening of the voice, things like that, then that can indicate that there's something more serious going on. So that's definitely something that you should have evaluated.